What's up YouTube? For today's video, we make full traceability Pokemon team. So the idea of this team, right, is to trace the opponent's ability and hopefully we can copy something and get a really cool ability or something really bad and we're going to get trolled. Now there's only 6 Pokemon that actually get this ability, so we're going to be using all 6 of those Pokemon. Now if you were able to trace an ability, what would it be? Leave below in the comment section of the video. I would trace Honey Gather definitely because it's absolutely amazing. Now make sure you subscribe, make sure you've hit that bell and selected all the notifications because if you miss the salt, it's not my fault. You can check out the merch, people. That is in the description of the video. We got cups, pillows, phone cases, all that cool stuff. I should be back from holiday yesterday or today. I've been putting up, I'm just looking at the videos I've uploaded already. I think I've put up about 6 videos. Hope you guys have really been enjoying them. If you enjoy the theme teams, people, please leave a like on the video. It definitely helps me out. And let's get into it. We have 2 battles today, and boy, they were pretty interesting ones. So we have a battle. This one's on my Discord. Discord's in the description of the video too if you want to check that out. This one's against Cameron, I think. So we got a Durant lead, and Durant was actually really good against my team. So I'm going to trace Hustle there. Hustle Rolts, that's what I'm talking about. So let's get some salts with this Rolts. I went for a Psychic because I thought the Durant, if it is running a physical set, it could actually miss with the Hustle. And it turns out it's going to use Home Claws instead, and I get a little bit of Psychic damage. So that's not too bad, right? Now the strategy is going to actually come in here. We got Psychic, Protect, Destiny Bond, and Trick Room. So pretty much what I wanted to do was bring this Durant down with me because it was so good against all of my team. I think like 5 out of the 6 Pokemon it could absolutely destroy. So it's going to go for the Iron Head out. Now the only problem about this is if I do get flinched, I'm going to get absolutely destroyed. It's got the Life Orb as the item too, but thankfully I'm able to get off the Trick Room, and now I can freely go for a Destiny Bond with my Rolts, and I'm going to bring this Durant down with me, which is really good. Now the other Pokemon we've got the whole Gardevoir line in this team, and we've got a couple of Porygon line, and we've got Mega Alakazam. So they're the only ones that get it. It's quite a unique ability. Alright, so Rolts is going to take out the Durant. Thank goodness. That would have been probably like a Friday video if that thing was allowed to sweep my team, and Durant's obviously going to go down there, which is good. A very good start bearing that Pokemon. So I thought, okay, let's swap in Porygon because this is a more of a bulky, slower Porygon. We've got Hyper Beam, Gravity, Zap Cannon, and Trick Room as well. And we've got Quiet Nature. We've got the ability as Trace and Normalium Zig as the item. So we're going to trace that Tinted Lens. That's going to power up moves that are not very effective. I'm not sure if it's going to be very good in this case because I'm going to be going for gold here trying to take out that Venomoth. Alright, so Venomoth's going to go for the Bug Buzz there. I'm going to set the Gravity up. Now, Gravity obviously increases the accuracy of more moves on the field, and it drops Pokemon that are levitating and flying and stuff as well. So going for that big Zap Cannon does pretty good damage. I'm quite happy with that. I was sort of hoping it would be a 2-hit KO so I didn't have to use up my Z move or my Hyper Beam, but to no avail. So we got the Venomoth going for a Bug Buzz. Porygon is just going to live that one. We've got a little bit of Black Sludge recovery on the Venomoth as well. So I pretty much have no choice here. I've got to go for my Z move to finish off the Venomoth. The EVs on this one, max special attack and max health. The Rolts was just max special attack, and that was Quiet Nature hindering speed and stuff. I really had nothing in there. I wanted Rolts to be hit hard as possible, then I could make use of that Focus Sash and Destiny Bomb. Alright, so I'm going to literally give this Venomoth a headbutt. Did you see it actually tucked its head in, and Venomoth is going to go down. So that's a pretty good start there. Got rid of Venomoth, got rid of the Durant. Now what bug is going to come in next? So we got the a bug Pokemon. We got Heracross. They sort of got like maybe a low-key theme team going here. We got the Heracross going for this Sword Dance. I was like, oh dear. So on this move, right, I went for the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is going to land. So I love how Porygon, how it turns around with the Hyper Beam. So Horrygon, Heracross, and Porygon. I just came up with a new Pokemon's name. Can we get that as a top comment? Horrygon? Anyway, so Horrygon is going to close combat me. And boys, this ain't looking too good because this Horrygon has the Moxie ability. So down goes Horrygon. And the next Pokemon I thought to bring in would be my Gardevoir. So it's like, if this has Moxie right, I might be able to trace it and I may be able to take it out, or I may not and I may desperately fail. So bring in the Gardevoir. This is the Expert Belt physical set. We're going to trace that Moxie right away there and go for the Shadow Sink. So I was like, I wonder if this is actually going to be able to take it out. I didn't think it would, and I got a crit. That was so lucky. That definitely would have taken out, and Heracross is going to go down. And we got the Moxie, which is going to give us an attack boost. Now, this was probably my most favorite part of the video. If this doesn't deserve a like on the video, I'm not sure what does. All right, so we got the Ferrothorn coming in right. I'm going to go for the Fire Punch, Expert Belt, +1 in attack. That gets absolutely buried. That was so good. And I'm going to take some Iron Barbs damage, and of course the Rocky Helmet too. But man, that was absolutely amazing. We got on this set Zen Headbutt, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, and Shadow Sneak. Adamant Nature, max attack and max speed. Expert Belt and ability as Trace. So I like those 2 KOs there were like the golden moment of this video for me. We're gonna have a Zoroark here. So the thing about Zoroark does, if it uses the Z move right, it actually reveals itself. Now I went for I think I went for an Ice Punch here or a Zen Headbutt. I thought it was a little bit strange. Like, if you look at their last 2 Pokemon, right, it's quite a clever move. So they've got Acid Downpour on this. So maybe they'll try and disguise it at some point. I'm not sure what they were planning to. Regardless of that, my Gardevoir is definitely not going to live the Poison Z. I'm guessing that Sludge Bomb coming from Zoroark. I think it's kind of, I'm just thinking out loud at the moment. I think it's kind of silly that, you know, if you use the Z move, the Zoroark actually gets, like, its illusion goes away. I wish that didn't happen. You could do some real mind games with that. Alright, so we're going to go into the Mega Alakazam here. Now, this Mega Alakazam is, obviously, it's got a little bit better defense, and I'm hoping this is going to be a special Zoroark, not a physical one without, like, Sucker Punch. So we're going to trace that illusion. Obviously, illusion doesn't get traced. That's why when I Mega Evolved, the illusion didn't come up as the ability. So that's an ability you cannot trace. Alright, so I'm just able to just hang on 14 health there, and I'm going to go for another Drain Punch, and the Zoroark is going to go down. So, damn, that physical Mega Alakazam, boys and girls. Let me tell you what that set is. I've run this a couple of times. Actually, this one I did a sweep on, so if you've seen that already, this is quite similar. We got Knockoff, Psycho Cut, Drain Punch, and Zen Headbutt. I did a double dual Psychic move this time. We got the ability as the Trace as well when I Mega Evolve. Alright, so we got Toxicroak coming in here. My Spidey senses are really picking up on a Fake Out or a Sucker Punch here. So we're going to go into Curlier, and we're going to trace that Poison Touch. So that's probably not going to help me too much. And of course, Sucker Punch is going to come. So we're going to take this Pokemon out. Actually, real talk, so this is actually like really strong against my team. So we got the Toxicroak right, going for the Gunk Shot on my Curlier. This was a bulky defensive Curlier. I don't even know how that lived, even with its like bulky defense. We got max health, max defense, and bold nature with the Everlight, and I'm able to get a Will-O-Wisp off against the Toxicroak, which is actually really, really good. Now, this Curlier set is as follows. We got Will-O-Wisp, Pain Spit, Draining Kiss, and Calm Mind. So it's going to go for Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch fails to take me out, and I'm going to kiss that Toad, Ribbit, and man, what's going on? It didn't turn into a king. Anyway, so we got the Toxicroak. It's going to have to go for a Gunk Shot or some other move to take me out, and it's going to go for a Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot doesn't miss, and my Ralts Curlier is going to go down. But man, Curly did a wonderful job of actually tanking that. I'm not sure, like, if that was like a mix set. I'm not sure. I thought it would still go down. So we got Mega Alakazam left and one other Pokemon, which you definitely don't know what is. And we're going to go for a Psycho Cut here. That's what I was thinking. I could go for Psycho Cut. I may be able to live this one too because it is burn. It doesn't seem to have like max attack. Anyway, so we got the Toxicroak going for the Sucker Punch, and Alakazam is going to go down. I don't reckon that would have done like a lot of damage. Maybe a little bit more than that. Judging on the damage it did to my Curlier, that's why I swapped it in. So my last Pokemon is the Porygon 2. We're going to be running a physical adaptability set in my imagination, but we're going to be tracing its ability, people. Normally, I wanted to run adaptability, but this one is going to be traced. So we're going to trace that Poison Touch. Firstly, we're going to go for the Protect there. It's going to go for a Sword Dance. Oh dear. Oh dear. So it's got the Sword Dance up, so I'm thinking, okay, it's going to have to have a fighting type move. I'm thinking like Drain Punch. That's normally what this thing has. So going for the last resort here, the Toxicroak is going to go for the Drain Punch. It does a lot of damage. It's definitely a 2-hit KO, unfortunately, for my Porygon. And it's going to get some health recovery back as well. So Porygon 2, and it's going to Poison Touch me on top of that. Porygon 2 is going to go for the last resort here. I wish I had the adaptability. That would have been so good. Going for that one, it does a lot of damage. Toxicroak just hangs on, which is unfortunate for me. Now, I've got Protect left. And the thing about that is, right, Toxicroak can't heal itself off, right? So I can go for Protect, and it's going to go down for the burn damage, and that is the game. Man, I can feel the salt through that Protect there. Hope you guys enjoyed this first battle, and man, I got to admit, like Gardevoir there, and I'd say Gardevoir and probably Curly living that attack and burning that Toxicroak were like the two major catalysts for me winning that battle. That was crazy. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's get on to the second one. So this battle was a little bit longer than the first one. I think this was like at least 20 to 30, probably 25 to 30 turns. Alright, this is a battle on my chat, Discord chat. This was against Mr. Guzzlot, and we got a Raikou lead. So I've got me Porygon this time. We're going to be going with that Trace again. I wish I had that normal abilities, but here we go. We're going to get Pressure. So, okay, Pressure isn't too bad. I guess that's going to drop the opponent's PP and stuff, which isn't all that bad. We're going to have a Snarl from the Raikou. So if I was using a special attack, it's going to affect me, and in this case, it is. So we're going to go for the Trick Room, setting that Trick Room up, which is going to be handy. It's going to help out a lot of my Pokemon. When you look at my team, apart from Mega Alakazam and somewhat Gardevoir, all other 4 Pokemon, right, they work well in Trick Room. They're all very slow Pokemon. So I thought, okay, let's go for the Z move. Even though I've got a -1 in special attack, I can at least go for my Z move and get some kind of damage off against this Pokemon. I don't even know what set it's going to be. So go for the Breakneck Blitz there, tucking my little Porygon head. Like, look at that head, man. Could you imagine being, hit by that? Anyway, so hits pretty hard considering does over half health. And we got a Thundershock Raikou. This is what you subscribe for. So Thundershock Raikou ain't going to touch me, boys. We're going to go for a High Beam here, hoping we can take out this Raikou, hoping it can take it out. I don't want to go down to Thundershock, and Raikou is going to go down, man. I would have really salty if I went down to Thundershock Raikou. All right, the next Pokemon we got is Electivire, another electric type Pokemon. So I'm on recharge, I can't do anything at all, and Electivire is obviously going to be able to use Wild Charge against me. It's a physical set, and that Wild Charge does some wild damage to me, taking my Porygon out. We got to end this Electivire's career, people. It's too dangerous having that Wild Charge run. So now I thought, okay, we could go into Porygon 2 here, maybe tank that Wild Charge, and then go for that last resort after. So we're going to see, the good thing about Trace, right, is you can actually see all the abilities the Pokemon actually have too, so it's quite interesting. Say if an ability really countered you. Say if you had a Pokemon that put something to sleep, then you trace the ability like Vital Spirit, you could see that they had that ability. So it's kind of handy like that. So now we got a Z move here. I went for Protect, so they're going to go for a Z move, which is kind of unfortunate for them and kind of a little bit unfortunate for me too. So we got Gigavolt, Havoc, Wild Charge. This is going to do a lot of damage. Now, I think, definitely my Porygon 2 would have gone down to this because I wasn't running Everlight, and that doesn't do much damage at all, which is good. That Protect obviously halves the damage. So now we got the Trick Room, which is going to wear off, and we got the Meditate. Did you guys hear the sound effect for that? It was like this, Zen music. It was super cool. So I'm going to go for the last resort, and that's the Electivire down. Man, that thing with +1 attack would have really hurt. So I was glad to get rid of that. Now I can freely go for the last resort. Now we got another team. This seems to be a theme team, people. What theme team could it be? Could it be a mono electric team? We got a Magnezone coming out. I'm going to go for the last resort. Last resort really doesn't touch Magnezone, but if it did have Sturdy, well, it doesn't have Sturdy no longer. So it's going to set up the Reflect. I'm not going to do anything to this thing at all. I've got to swap out. Maybe use my Porygon 2 later on in the battle. I might be able to get some kind of use out of it. I wanted to see what moves it actually had, though, so I stayed in for one more turn. I felt like I could live one more attack. It's going to be a physical set. So I'd actually get some quite interesting physical moves. I've run a physical one before, like a Choice Banner set. It was quite fun. So I'm going to swap out my Porygon 2, and we're going to go into Alakazam. It's okay, does Alakazam, is it going to be able to take this stack? But it goes for a Volt Switch instead. Volt Switch does a lot of damage. It's funny, on Magnezone, even if you run a physical set, its special attack is still way higher. It's got such a great special attack. So it's looking to me like they're running a mono electric type team. We're going to go for that Digi Evolution, and we're going to hope we can get that nice Psycho Cut Crit. So we're going to go into our... The good thing about this is, right, when we go into our Mega Alakazam, we're going to trace Volt Absorb. So they can't use any, abilities at all. So then I was like, this is good. But then they had Quick Feet. It's oh, this is so... Anyway, so they got the Jolteon Go Facade, and Mega Alakazam is going to go down. My goodness. I can't believe that. I thought I got a really good trace then, and it couldn't use any electric type moves, but that wasn't the case. All right, so we're going to go to Salts here. I thought, okay, let's get up the Trick Room. Let's get that going, and I've got the Quick Feet. That's not really going to help me too much. This is a Trick Room Pokemon. All right, so now we got a Thunderbolt from the Jolteon. It's going to be a mix set, which is interesting. I'm going to land on my Focus Sash again, and I can set up the Trick Room here, which is going to be nice. It was I think it might have been Max Attack, Max Special Attack, with Quick Feet as their ability, so they essentially could have like a mix attacker that's really fast too. I think that's what their set was. Quite good idea though if it was. So we got a Destiny Bot here. I've got to take this Pokemon out. It's too speedy, and they're going to finish me off with a Hidden Power Fairy and take out my Salty Rolty. I've done a level 1 Rolt Sweep, you guys, so check that out if you haven't seen it already. So down goes the Jolteon. We still got that Magnezone, which could be a problem. We still got 2 other Pokemon too, which I got to take out. So back into the Porygon 2. I can go for the Protect and Last Resort again. Now we got the Luxray coming in. I was like, does Luxray have Intimidate or not? This would kind of be bad. So I'm going to get rid of its Intimidate and give it Intimidate itself, which is good. Now, the only thing about this is I'm going to get hit by Intimidate as well from the Luxray. So we both Intimidate each other, whereas I'm staring. Basically, say this is real talk, right? Basically, a lion is staring down the dark IRL. So I'm going to swap out here. My attack's going to do nothing. Like, Luxray's deceivingly bulky too. For a sweeping Pokemon. So we're going to go into Curly here. This is my defensive wall, as you guys already know. We're going to get a double Intimidate off on this thing. That's how I can make use of Trace and really like get some soul happening. So that's going to fail, obviously, and now I can go for Will-O-Wisp. I was wondering, you know, this is going to be a good move because since it's got Intimidate right, I don't need to think about, like, worry about that it's got Gust or anything, so that's going to be cool. So now we've got a Wild Charge. Wild Charge does nothing. Look how much it does. So that had -2 in attack, and it had the burn on top of it. So that was like, this is, and it had, like, the reflector's gone too, which is good. So that really got shut down completely there. So out swaps the Luxray late in a Salty Rage. And now we've got Pikachu coming in. It's like, okay, I wonder what Pikachu set this is going to be. So we're going to set up the Carmine. I want to see if we can get this Curlier sweep happening. This Draining Kiss sweep. So we got max health, max defense. So the idea is to get as many Carmines up as possible. We can have the Draining Kiss for recovery, and obviously we can have the Draining Kiss for damage as well. So we got the Pikachu going for a Toxic. Is this a bulky Pikachu? What is this? So the bulky Pikachu, right, is going to use the Toxic against my Curly. I'm going to go for the Draining Kiss and see how much this does. It should do a fair bit considering it's Pikachu, but it doesn't. It hardly does anything at all. So this Pikachu is bulky, son. This is a bulky Pikachu. So I was a little bit low-key worried right now. I was like, can I take this Pikachu out? I was thinking, okay, I've got Porygon 2. It should hit it pretty hard with Last Resort. I might be able to get Pikachu down in like a low enough range to take it out, right? Depending on if it has any like recovery. All right, so I'm going to do a little Battle Arena dance there and boost my special defense and special attack by 1 stage each. I like the Rolt's Evolution Line. I've actually done a Rolt's Evolution Line team too. If you've never seen that, you should definitely check it out. So now we got some healing recovery here, which is the Wish. So we got Wish Pikachu. I kind of figured they'd have something like that, so I went for another Carmine. So I've got +3 Carmines now. So things are looking up. I can go like something else, and I can go for the Draining Kiss, and this should do a lot more damage to the Pikachu. And the Pikachu doesn't seem to have any offensive presence at the moment. However, it's going to go for a Volt Switch instead. So it's like, okay, so it's like a Wish passer. So they're going to pass that Wish onto the Luxray or the Magnezone. It turned out they passed it on to Luxray. Luxray didn't really have a lot of damage anyway, and it was going to try and come in and take out my Rolts. So we got the Air Balloon on the Luxray. I'm going to go for Draining Kiss. It actually does okay damage considering it's coming from a Curlier. So probably the next 1 or 2 will definitely take out the Luxray. So we're going to get rid of that Air Balloon as well, which is actually kind of important because I'm running so many ground type moves, guys. Really, I'm running so many. I actually don't have a single ground type move on this team at all. So Luxray is going to get the Wish Pass to it, and that's going to heal up all its health. So that was kind of good with the Pikachu. And now we're going to Protect. So this thing's trying to storm out my Protect. Toxic Protect, and I'm going to go for another Draining Kiss. That's going to hit the Protect, and my health is slowly going down. So I was thinking, at this point, should I just go for a Pain Split rather than Draining Kiss? Like, you know, what's my play here? So now we're going to Wild Charge coming from the Luxray. It is burnt, but I just hang on 13 health, which was absolutely awesome because I went for the Draining Kiss to get some more health back. Man, that burn really shut down that Luxray, like, a lot. Like, that was so good getting that burn off. All right, so recovering some nice damage from the Draining Kiss there. However, Toxic is going to take me all the way down to 5 health. Now, I know Luxray's going to attack this turn. It is going to take some more damage from the burn and the Wild Charge. Not that a recoil is going to be very much with 5 damage from a Curlier, but, you know, anything is better than nothing. So I've got 2 Pokemon left. I've got the Gardevoir, and I've got the Porygon 2. I was thinking, what should I swap in here? So I finish off with the Porygon 2, save the Gardevoir for later. Decide to save the Gardevoir for a little bit later on. So I'm going to Trace it and Intimidate, further dropping the Luxray's attack here. Man, this Luxray must be, like, so, like, he must be pissed by now, like the amount of times I've dropped his attack. So Luxray's going to do nothing at all. It's going to go for Protect itself. I think I went for Protect as well. Pretty much Luxray on their team is, you know, it's dead weight. It can't do any damage at all. So now I can freely go for the Last Resort against the Luxray and try and take it out. The best it can pretty much do is the Wild Charge, which isn't going to do very much damage to Porygon 2 at all. And that one is down. So all we got left now is the Magnezone and the Pikachu. I'm thinking they're going to be swapping in the Magnezone now because Magnezone obviously resists Last Resort and it can pretty much take me out with anything. However, they're going to swap their Pikachu in. I was like, okay, interesting. Is this going to use like Volt Switch or something like that? Now the Pikachu, right, is going to go for the Volt Switch. And guess what, guys? I take that one pretty well and I eat my berry. Oh, I forgot to tell you what my item was. It was Lychee Berry, so it's going to boost my attack. It was Adamant Nature and Max Health too. If I didn't mention that one already, I apologize. So now we've got the Magnezone coming in. I'm actually going to do a little bit more damage to the Magnezone, which is actually pretty pleasing. And it does some pretty good damage. It's about a 2-hit KO from this range here. Magnezone is going to be able to take me out with anything. I actually outspeed it. So this was like, I'm guessing this was like maybe like a Trick Room kind of set there. And the Magnezone is going to go for a Volt Switch. So they got some nice synergy with the Volt Switch on these Pokemon. If you look at them, all of these Pokemon actually get the move Volt Switch as well. So I'm thinking they could all like low-key have Volt Switch. Like a lot of them have used it already, so it makes sense. It could be like a double thing team. I'm just thinking now, it could be a mono electric team and it could be like a swapping team with Volt Switch too. Regardless, we're going to go into the Gardevoir. We're going to get that Lightning Rod. So it's like, okay, it can't use special attacks against me. Awesome. So now we're going to go for a scummy Zen Headbutt and hope for some nice flinchy action. And we're going to get some nice flinchy action in my dreams, but it doesn't happen in reality. I'm going to get hit by the Toxic there, and I've got to take out this Pikachu. Like, this Pikachu is not going to take itself out. Now, we got the Magnezone on a little bit of health, if you remember, earlier on from that Last Resort. And now we got the Pikachu going for Protector. So Pikachu, all it can do is stall at the moment, and Magnezone can pretty much just come in there and get KO'd. I know that I can take that out with a Fire Punch. So pretty much what they need is to stall me out for a lot longer with the Protect. So now we're going to go for the Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt does not miss there. I actually predicted them to swap there into the Magnezone, so then they could go Protect afterwards and maybe try and get those more Protects going on, but that wasn't the case. So Magnezone is the last Pokemon we got. It's only on a little bit of health, and I think they may have been saving up this, thinking I didn't have anything apart from, like, you know, Shadow Sneak or Zen Headbutt. However, I got that Expert Belt Fire Punch, and that is going to send Magnezone back on the fridge. Hope you guys enjoyed both these battles, and make sure you check out the bonus battle. It is absolutely hilarious. Peace, people.